Hi guys and welcome to the stream. Today we are joined by Vitoy, XR 9000 and myself, Lambda Videos. And Vitoy is going to be teaching us how to set up the Hammer editing tools for the Half-Life 2 beta and how to fix maps from the WC Mappack. So we're going to go straight over to him and he's going to explain how to do that. I'll be watching the comments, so if you guys have any questions, let us know.
And yes, please tell us how do you hear us? I mean, the levels of our voices and stuff in the beginning of the stream, so we will be able to adjust them if something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's start to set up the hammer in the leak. And to do this, you will need to, well, the first thing you will need to do is to go to your browser and type hl2-beta.ru. It's our website. And over there, in the forum section, you will need to find the section about Half-Life 2 beta and the section about Half-Life 2 beta mods and modding. And over here, you will need to find subsection called maps. And oh, sorry, it's not here. I forgot about it. Yeah, it's in the subsection called Half-Life 2 beta mods and modding. And over here we have a tutorial which tells you how to set up the hammer in Half-Life 2 beta. And following this tutorial, you will be able. Wait, it's the wrong tutorial. Sorry. Wait, where? Oh, here it is. So here it is, the tutorial which tells you how to set up the hammer in your Half-Life 2 beta or Half-Life 2 leak. And by following this tutorial, you will be able to make the hammer in the leak workable. And by the way, another name for the hammer in Half-Life 2 beta is Worldcraft, because, well, it was called Worldcraft when it was still Gold Source, and they only renamed it into Hammer in like 2002, I guess. And they just still didn't rename the executable, so it's still wc.exe. So, like I said, you will need to find this tutorial, follow all the steps which described there, and we will during this stream we will show you live how to set it up.
So, yeah, and we're also going to go over one of the other custom tools, the VMF updater, so that it can take care of some of the simple stuff that's generic for each map.
Yes,
like
yesterday during Russian stream we were fixing one of the maps from WC Mappack, and we spent like I don't know, more than half an hour, I think, fixing it. And with this tool, which we will tell you more about later, you will be able to fix the map in just a few seconds. And well, I hope we won't forget to show it during the stream like we did yesterday. And all right, let's begin with setting up the hammer in the leak. So over here I have a folder anon-hl2, which is where I copied the virgin untouched version of Half-Life 2 beta straight from it's just like it was leaked back in 2003. It doesn't this copy of the leak doesn't have Megapatch installed, it doesn't have LeakNet installed, it's just a clear copy of Half-Life 2 beta. And even in the clean copy of Half-Life 2 beta, you are able to set up the hammer and it will work. So I will show you how to do it. And you will need to go to this folder called bin and find the executable for hammer, aka Worldcraft, which is called wc.exe. We are launching it, and here it is. the hammer is launched, and the first thing it says to you is, well, you can actually skip it because, well, it's not really necessary. It's there's almost nothing useful in here in this tutorial. You will
Yeah, it's like
better,
an old setup. It's like an old setup tutorial from older version.
yeah. And also, if you have some if you will have some questions about mapping, you can always visit the official wiki about Source SDK. And since the hammer in Half-Life 2 beta is almost the same one, it works almost the same as in the retail, except for a few moments. Well, you can just find your questions on the wiki. I mean, answers for your questions. So here we have a window which allows us to configure WordCraft or Hammer, and let's begin setting it up. So the first thing you will need to do is to add the name of your configuration. And why do you need this name of your configuration is because you're actually able to do, well, if you already was on our site and checked the downloads section, you saw that there are actually quite a few mods made for Half-Life 2 beta, and they all installed in separate folders in the root folder of Half-Life 2 beta. So with this
with that drop-down menu, you're able to add the different mods or
yes,
games. So like you could add
exactly.
Counter-Strike Source, Half-Life Source, 2001 map pack, 2002 map pack, so that it brings all the correct models and textures into the map.
But anyway, the first thing we will add is we will add a configuration for the beta itself. And let's do it. We need to press add, type a name, for example, HL2-beta. And here it is, it's already added. We just need to close, and now we can set up this configuration for HL2 beta, for the beta itself. And the first thing we will need to do is well, not the first, it's already the second thing we are doing. So you will need to add two files which are stored in the bin folder of your Half-Life 2 beta. So you will need to locate your unknown-HL2, I mean the root folder of your beta installation, and go to bin folder from here. And here you can see two FGD files, and you will need to add in here in game data files both of them. So we're selecting the first one, and we're selecting the second one.
All and right. The FGD files are specific to the game you're adding. So like if you were to add a Counter-Strike FGD, it would add things, special entities like terrorist spawns, counter-terrorist spawns, and various things like that, or different weapon sets. So Half-Life Source versus Half-Life 2. So that's what the FGDs actually contain.
So in the next two drop-down menus, you shouldn't touch anything because, well, we won't need to use Half-Life type of textures and Half-Life 1 types of maps or Team Fortress 2, since we don't have Team Fortress 2 files, so it's just pointless. So just don't mind these two drop-down menus and go straight to the next ones. And in here, we're choosing the default entities which will be used during our time editing the maps. And well, I suggest you can choose whatever you like, but I suggest you to choose prop static as the point entity, default point entity class. Here we will find it, and func detail as default solid entity class. Now we need to choose a default texture scale, and well, usually everyone chooses 0.25, and as light map scale, well, I really am not an expert in light maps, but I think in WC Mappack the default light map scale for Valve, Valve we're using is 32. So I'm usually choosing 32. I don't know if it's good or which is better.
Basically, I think the higher the number, I can't remember which way it goes, but it has to do with the shadows, how defined.
Well, the way light map scale works is 16. So we'll take a number, for example, 16 or 32. That means that each light map pixel is 16 units across, which means that the higher the number, the less sharp and more blurry the shadows look. So 32 is kind of high, it's kind of blurry. Since we're using modern computers, I would put 16.
All right,
or maybe,
let's choose 16.
Maybe 12.
So you will just need to leave the default number, which is 16.
And don't put it on something like 2 or 4 or 1, because it will sometimes it won't compile properly, or sometimes it will just be very demanding on performance. So make sure you keep it as lower than 32 but higher than, say, 8 or something like that.
And the next line says cordon texture. Here we need to set up a default texture for when we toggle cordon state, and we will tell you about what is cordon state a bit later. And over here I usually choose a texture called tools. Tools. I think it's tool / tools skybox. Oh, I forgot to put a slash. Actually, you can try and browse, but for now, we will tell you later. For now, the textures are not defined. We will tell you about this a bit later. We will check this a bit later. And over here, you will need to define the folder where your hl2.exe is located. And for this, you will need to find the root folder of the beta, which is, for me, it's anon hl2. For you, it could be any folder anyhow you named it. And by the way, I want to tell you from the start that I suggest you to name your Half-Life 2 beta folder with no spaces and no symbols like Cyrillics or any other symbols except for Latins. So remember, no spaces and only Latin, just in case, because it might do something with your ability to compile the maps. So yeah, in here you just need to define the default the root folder of your Half-Life 2 beta installation. For me, it's anon hl2. And over here in mod directory, you will need to define the directory where your mod is located. Well, the default name for the mod is hl2. Here I will show you. Here's the folder you will need to locate to define as the default folder for the first setup, for the first configuration. But as for other mods, like if you will decide to do a mod for Half-Life 2 beta, for example, and you create a separate folder for your mod, in this line you will need to define the folder of your mod. So remember that. But as a default, you will need to define hl2 folder. As for game directory, you will need to define the same folder as here. It's hl2. And in this line, it's anon hl2 hl2. And in this line, it doesn't matter which mod are you using. You still need to define this hl2 folder. And the final line is the line where you where you define your folder with maps. And for this folder, you will need to find your the root folder of your installation, HL2 maps. All right, we configured the first, I don't know how it's called.
The first tab.
Yeah, the first tab. Now I suggest you to go to Materials tab right away after this. And you will need to find the WAD list. And for this list, well, over here it already found this file in my working folder with my working installation of Half-Life 2 Beta, and not the new one. And actually, to add the file, you will need again to go to this tutorial topic on our forum and find this link, null WAD, and you need to download this file on your computer, and you just need to copy it into your installation, into HL2 materials folder of your Half-Life 2 Beta installation. So remember, you need null.wad in your HL2 materials folder of your beta. And now you can add the file from your hammer. Wait a second, where is my, oh, here it is. All right, now we have textures. So here you can see the textures appeared in your hammer. And from now on, you actually can work with the maps, but actually I usually use the maximum level, the maximum amount of clipping. Well, because on modern PCs, it works just fine. So what this thing do is, Scott, can you describe it? Hey, Scott, you there?
Did we lose Scott?
Well, never mind. Just copy. Just adjust this thing up to the maximum amount.
Which one are you looking at?
Wait, does it?
One sec.
Does it?
Oh, you mean back clipping plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how far the 3D view will actually draw into the distance.
All right, and once you finished setting up your hammer, the first thing I suggest you to do is to close the hammer. And why do you need to close the hammer after you after you finish setting it up? Is because, well, don't forget that it is Half-Life 2 beta, and well, while it's not actually a beta, it's just how we call it. I mean, the fans. But well, it still acts kind of like beta. It not just the game, but also its tools are constantly crashing. And well, if your hammer will crash during during work, it will. If you didn't close the hammer after you set it up, it will lose everything you put into preferences, into configuration. So I suggest just in case to close it right after you finished setting it up. And from now on, you're able to open your maps, I mean VMF files, and edit them and compile them. And as for how to do it, well, of course you can proceed from your fresh installation, but Like I already said, I have a working copy of the leak. Here is my working copy. As you can see, I have a big amount of different mods, many of which still didn't come out. And this is what I was talking about. You're able to create a separate folders for your mods, and you're able to copy files in there which will overwrite the original files, for example. But we don't really need to describe all this right now, so let's just go to bin folder and start my working copy of the hammer.
One thing we do have to change is we do have to set up the build programs.
Oh,
so
I totally forgot.
Half-Life 2.exe.
Yes, I totally forgot about it. Good thing you reminded me. Yes, well, the configuration is still not finished. Let's go back. Yeah, sorry about it. So you will need to set up one more tab, which is called build programs. And over here you will need to define a few executables, which are, one of them is located in the root folder, and the rest are located in bin folder. And the first one, well, it says game executable, and it is this hl2.exe. It's the program which launches the game. Let's check the folder. Yeah, and just skip the next executable. You don't really need it. It's just a leftover from previous Hammer versions. Just forget about CSG and go straight to BSP. And like I said, BSP is located in the bin folder. You will need to find vbsp.exe. And same for vis and rad. Let's find vis and vrad. And in the final line, you will need to define your maps folder, the folder where the compiled maps will be copied to. And usually you will need to define this folder. I mean, hl2 maps. Or if you're configuring your mod, for example, you will need to find your mod folder and in there maps. So I guess this is all. Now the hammer is configured and it will be able to compile the maps as well.
Yeah.
So let's go back to my working installation. It's in bin folder. And from now on, I guess we should start telling you how to fix the maps from from WC Mappack. And before this, actually, maybe there's something interesting in the chat. Maybe some questions. Let's read them. Project 9 folder on the desktop. Yes, I can actually launch it, but no, I won't. All right, you saw it's just 189 megabytes. It's just where I copied all my stuff from my desktop. So and I named the folder Project 9. Boom. Well, all right, no more questions, and I guess we can start with describing how to fix maps from WC Mappack. Well, I hope we don't really need to describe what is WC Mappack is. Well, if you want to know what it is, you can just go to our download section and... Oh, sorry, I forgot to switch my website on English. And yeah, not for some reason not everyone knows it, but yeah, you can just press the button over here, and it will switch the website language to English or back to Russian. For some reason, some people used Google Translate for this to translate our website. And again, in the same section of our forum, you can find this thread called "How to Fix Beta Maps," and you just need to read it all, and it well, I guess it pretty well describes how to do it. Oh, I was talking about what is WC Mappack. Well, like I said, you can go to our downloads and find WC Mappack, and what it is will be in the description. We have actually two versions of WC Mappack. The first one is this one. It's the original WC Mappack in the state as it was leaked back in 2003. And the next version is a sorted version of the Mappack. It was sorted by different development eras, as you can see on the screens here. Currently there are 4 development eras, not just 3. And in each development eras, maps were sorted by what the map was exactly. Was it, for example, storyline map, or it was some test map where Valve tested stuff, or maybe it was prefabs. So in the sorted Mappack, well, if you are new to the Mappack, I recommend you to download the sorted version. It will be much easier for you to navigate.
Yeah, it really
Wait, for some reason, Discord is acting up, and you could be barely heard.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, now they can hear you well. What were you saying?
The thing I said, the sorted map pack is very useful. Instead of having to search through so many different things just to find what type of map you want, it makes it much easier to find content you're looking for.
All right, so back to the thread. In this thread, it will describe to you step by step which problems you might stumble upon during the fixing the maps from the Mappack and how to fix them. And well, I guess. Oh, but by the way, while we're describing you the stuff, can you maybe you have some suggestions which map we will fix during the stream? Maybe there's some map that everyone want to be seen how to fix it. And well, I only want to add one thing. The question, why at all do we need to fix maps from WC Mappack? Well, here are the screenshots will describe you exactly why. It's because the majority of the maps in WC Mappack are broken because they were made for older versions of the engine which worked pretty much different back in, for example, 2001 than in 2003. And many textures are actually missing, like you can see in this screenshot. And even more textures are not missing, but they were replaced back in 2003 after they decided to move City17 from US to Europe.
I think a good type of map to fix would be one that has part of the map hidden within a viz group. Because I remember when I first was trying to mess with Borealis, trying to fix it, I couldn't find which version was most complete, but I didn't know about the cordon box and viz groups.
Well, they suggest us to fix cremator 039 and the construction site maps, well, these maps are already fixed. You can find them in 2001 Mappack. So there's just no reason for us to fix them now. It's just not really interesting. Well, you know, since I'm going to work, well, I kind of started working on it, but I'm not working on it hard right now. But since I'm gonna fix maps for 2002 Mappack, I think we need to find something in the folder, in the 2002 folder. So let's go there and see what map we might need to fix. And yeah, yesterday on the Russian stream we fixed D1 Sewer 46 map, which consisted from 3 maps in one. So obviously we won't need to fix this. So let's go to sorted Mappack and find something. Oh, let's check this one, for example. Oh, and here over here you can see different. This is what I was talking about. Here I have different. Scott, can you remind the name of it?
A different selection for mods?
Well, yeah, different preferences for each mod I have installed.
Yeah, different profiles.
And if you define, like I said, if you define in Hammer's options, I mean, yes, in options, if you will define different configurations here, like I did, you will be able to map for each folder of your mods. And when you open the map, it asks you with which mod do you want to open the map. And since it's 2002 Mappack, well, we will choose this one, HL2_2002. And now you can see the map is loaded. And here's a handy tip for you. If you will press Shift-Z, it will maximize the window you're using right now. And since the window used by default is 3D window, 3D camera, 3D view, I mean, it maximizes this camera. And let's check the map and what needs to be fixed. And here's what I was talking about. Do you see this texture right here on this building? Well, this texture obviously was different back in 2002, and it was replaced with this stone texture sometime after, I guess, 2003. And the thing is, the original textures, which looked like this over here, they were they were renamed and put into different folder. So originally, back in 2002, they were called Stonewall and Stonewall 029, and then they renamed it into Plasterwall. And what you will need to do to replace the textures, you will need to press this button over here, which is called Toggle Texture Application. We press it, and this dialog shows up, and you need to choose any texture you want to replace, and click on any face of the brush with this texture, like here. And then you just need to press replace button and press, well, here's the texture which you will replace, and here's the texture you will replace it with. And here we just need to press browse, and in the filter put the name of a texture or part of the name of texture you want to replace it with. And since it's plaster wall, we type plaster wall, and let's look for the original texture over here. And here you can see exactly, sorry, yeah, exactly the same texture, which looks exactly the same as this one. And we just need to check over here which letter was it. If it was, for example, Stonewall 29A, you will need to find plaster wall 36A and replace it with this texture. And here you can see the number of texture which were replaced. At total, there were 19 textures on the map with this name, which were replaced with a new one. And here you can see that all those faces with older name of the texture were replaced. And you will just need to do the same thing with the rest of these textures. And
how do we find what the textures were renamed to?
Yes, about these textures, they're actually you can find the list of them. Well, it's not actually complete, but you can find some of them in this thread in the paragraph about missing textures. And here is actually this list, and you can see yes, here is Stonewall 29 with letter should be replaced with plaster wall 36 with the same letter. As for the full list can be found in VMF updater Lua script, and we will talk about it a bit later. So let's replace rest of Stonewall textures. As you can see, this was originally Stonewall 29C, and we will replace it with plasterwall 36C. And there are total 484 textures. Wow. So as you can see, it now looks much nicer, better. So let's just finish replacing these textures. So it was D. We need to find D as well. Here it is. And I guess it will be the final one, B. All right, now this building looks much better. It looks just like it is supposed to look like. Actually, we can also, just in case, replace this stone wall G with well, it looks the same, but still, just in case.
Do you know how people originally found out which textures were replaced, or how they found which ones
yes.
belong?
For example, if we will open here, let me open it. If we will open D1 terminal 01 map, and if we will open the texture, screenshot with it, which can be found in our gallery, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. There's a better screenshot of it. Oh my god! Well, for example, this one. Over here you can see the building, and over here you can see the same building. And well, basically this is how we found out that these textures are not the original ones. They were replaced. So we just looked at on the screenshots, and
okay.
that's how we found out how it is supposed to look originally. Same goes with, for example, this texture. Well, we actually, I think this texture will be on the Street War map as well. But first, let's deal with this texture. This texture, well, it's hard to tell that it is not original from here if you don't know, if you didn't see it before. But for example, over here, sorry, I forgot to put it to maximize it. For example, over here you can see that this window here, well, it doesn't really fit, and it actually is because the original brick wall 001 texture was replaced as well, and I think we have a replacement for it in Megapatch. And let's type brick wall in the filter, and I don't know if you can see it, but some textures over here have they end with _old, and this is because well, if you see texture with _old, it means that it was added by us in Megapatch. They were made by many people from our community, which contributed to the Megapatch, and they were added in the latest 4th version of Megapatch. And with Megapatch 4 installed, you can actually choose a proper replacement for was it F? Yes, it is F.
So one on the front is F. The one on the side is something else.
Here, brickwall 001F should be replaced with, well, of course, if there's a replacement, you need to replace it with an older version of it. And since, well, I don't think Megapatch 4 has it, but it will be in one of the next versions of Megapatch. It's just Claw still didn't publicly release his remakes of the textures. And yeah, we will mention Claw's remakes a bit later. But, well, it can be replaced. And here's more like what it looked like originally. I guess you can see that it is much nicer as well. All right, let's find, maybe there is some other textures which needs to be replaced. Yes, for example, this one. This is the one I was talking about. It can be seen on terminal screenshot, and they weren't exactly replaced. They were just you will see what was made with them. So what was actually made with this Stonewall 021 texture is they added, it seems like they added a bunch of new versions of the same textures, I mean of this set, and for some reason they replaced the old one with the new ones. And you can see here there's two instances of the same texture which looks just the same, but the thing is, one of them is transparent, I think D is transparent, and A is not. Same goes with B and E, and with C and F. ABC is not transparent, and DEF is transparent. So over here we have 21F, and actually in this thread, in this list of the textures, I think it is said on which texture you need to replace it exactly. Oh no, it's not. Well, we actually can figure it out. Since look at this place, at the place where this texture is applied to. It looks pretty much like a door to me. So I guess we need to replace 21F with 21K. Let's try it. I think it fits pretty well. I think it was exactly the door before. Let's check the other places. Yes, over here it is also a door, and maybe there's some other place. Yes. Well, now we can certainly say that 21F should be replaced with 21K. Let's check the other ones. Oh, I guess we don't need to replace stone wall 30 with anything else. Let's just leave it. Well, I guess this is everything we needed to. I mean, with replacement textures on this map, but there may be another problem, and here I can see it actually exists. When you see these white textures, plain white textures on the map, it means that the texture is missing, and when it's missing, it looks in face edit sheet. It looks like this, just a black square with no image. And you can actually replace the missing textures with any other. And well, since the name of missing texture is glass window, well, it is obvious that we need to replace it with glass window as well. It's just we need to replace it with just some other glass window. Oh, sorry. I need to open browser first, and in here we can put glass window. And let's check the number of the original texture. It's 38. So let's see if there's some other 38 exists just with another letter. Well, we have glass window 37, but we don't have 38. We can actually try and put 37 on it, on this face, to see how it looks like with this one. And well, it kind of fits, but there may be a problem here. Let's check it. Yes, here's what the problem is. If we will choose a transparent texture for this face, entities from the map will start leaking through this transparent texture into the void here, and we need to well, this shouldn't be a thing. I mean, the leak, and we will talk about leaks a bit later, by the way. Please remind me if we forget about it.
Okay.
Let's find some texture which is not transparent for this window. So it should be window texture and not transparent one. For example, let's check. I don't know. Let's check this one. No, still transparent. How about this one? Well, yeah, here's non-transparent texture and it fits pretty well to me. And here's another transparent texture which needs to be replaced because, well, like I said, we can't have transparent textures which can lead to leakage into the void. Let's, for example, choose in here. I don't even know. This one should be pretty small, maybe. Let's try this one. No, it didn't fit really well. How about this one? Oh, it's transparent. And this? Well, this is not transparent. Alright, this is how you replace the missing textures on your map. You just need to either take the name of the replacement texture from the list, or figure it out yourself. Just let your fantasy out and choose whatever texture you like the most. Well, this is how everyone do it who are fixing the maps. Oh, and here you can see another instance of the texture which was replaced since 2002. Well, obviously we need to replace this plaster wall 2B with something more suitable. Let's see what we got here. Well, it might be something with this ornament on the top, but it's just, wait, let's check. Oh, it is already used, so it was something different. I don't even know, but well, there's not really an existing texture which might serve as a replacement. I will just replace it with the same F thing, just as a placeholder. But maybe someday someone will do a remake of B. I mean of Plaster Wall 2B with his fantasy. And C, I guess it was something with something at the bottom, but I don't see any suitable except maybe this one. Well, this might serve. At least it looks better with this thing. And yeah, by the way, you can see over here that this texture differs in color from the texture above, and it is because in the leak Hammer for some reason overbrights some textures, so don't mind it. In the game it will look fine. It will look almost as the same texture. So just you just don't worry about such textures. Well, I guess this is all you need to know about textures and replacements and how to replace textures. So let's continue with the model, with the missing models. Actually, let's describe how to deal with these yellow obsolete entities. Well, they are called obsolete because if you will check this entity, for example, you will see it is called the chosen class for it is static prop. And the thing is, back in 2001 and 2002 and even early 2003, Valve named some of the entities used for models as static props, physics props, prop, and so on. And then for some reason they renamed it so this starts with prop instead of static or physics. And it doesn't really do anything to your map. I mean, if you will compile the map in this state, it will still compile the model and it will still appear in the map, but it's not really handy for you while you edit the map because, well, as you can see, the model here, it doesn't appear and it looks like this yellow J Staley instead with obsolete. And to fix it, you need to press map, go to entity report, and you need to choose every obsolete entities with the same name. For example, every static prop on the map. And if it would be some other map, there could be physics props and physics props ragdoll and some other entities, obsolete entities, you need to choose them all and replace them with replacement entity from the list over here. Over here in this tutorial, we have replacement list, a list of replacement entities for obsolete entities. And in red you can see the name of obsolete entity, and in orange you can see the name of the current name of the entity with which you need to replace the obsolete name. And we need to, in our instance, we need to replace static prop with prop static. Let's find it in the list. Choose it and press apply. And every static prop entity on the map was replaced with prop static. And now we can finally see about how the map will look like with all the models. And another problem you might stumble upon is this problem. The error, when you see error on your map, it means that the model that was used on it is missing in the current installation of your beta. And to to fix this problem, you need to open object properties of such model which is missing and check which name it has. In our instance, it has the name trashcan01b, and the thing about this model, well, it still wasn't restored by the community, and it still isn't in the mega patch. So what you need to do with such model is you need to replace it with something existing. Well, since it was some trash can, we can find some existing trash can model in the leak, and we need to press browse, and we need to locate models directory in your HL2 directory, and in here we can go to the same folder as the missing model located at prop city17. Let's find it, and we can find some trash can model, and actually such model exists in Megapatch. It was added in Megapatch. The trash can 01b is missing, but 01a was added in Megapatch 4. So we just need to locate it and replace the missing model with existing one. And here is the model. We can just choose it, and here it is. Now there's another thing. There may be more than one instances of the same model missing on the same map, and to locate all such maps and to replace all of them instantly, you need to open its properties, copy the name of the missing model, and go to map entity report. Now you just need to check this checkbox, which is by key value, and you need to pass the name of the missing model in here, and it will find every entity which has this, the model with this name. And well, for us now it only found one model, since only one model is left with the same model, same missing model. You just need to, well, we just need to do the same thing for this model as well. And since we remember that the name of the existing model is trashcan01a, we just need to replace B with A, the letter, and press apply. And now we can see that for some reason it's inside the wall. You know what? I think
I wonder if trash can B was a model that sticks out from a wall or something.
I think it was trash can's lead. It might be.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they just added this fence later and forgot about the model. Who knows? Well, since in 2002 Mappack we don't make any edits on the maps. We don't fix problems like this one. We leave everything as original as it is possible. We will not move this trash can from the fence. We just leave it here. But if it's some map you're doing, and if you want to actually do some changes, feel free to do whatever you like. So I guess this map is about to be fixed. Everything now looks pretty much in order. The textures has been fixed. Missing models has been fixed. So which problem can occur to us when we are fixing 2001 and 2002 maps? As you can see on this screenshot here, let me show it. Some entities appears black in game, and it is because the render options used to be different in older builds of Half-Life 2. And just to be sure that nothing will appear black for us, we need to again to go to entity report. And by the way, if you use this filter by key value, you just need to uncheck it, and all entities will appear in the list again after this. So what we will need to do is we need to check entities like func brush, func wall, func door, func door rotating. Well, I don't see any instances of such entities on this map. It's not really a good map to showcase how to fix this. Well, Scott and Ben, can you remind me to show how to fix the black problem later? Let's just finish with this map first. All right, what I saw on this map is another problem which you will stumble upon. It's the problem with these entities. As you can see here, oh yeah, by the way, when you see these axis coordinates on the map, it is so-called 0 coordinates, and it is the very center of the map. And usually on the older maps, if Valve used some physics entities, they placed on the 0 coordinates entities like this hinge and this spring. And as you can see, there's this spring over here. Maybe there's even something else. Let's check it. Let's move this entity. Yes, there's something else. Oh, there's just 2 physics entity. And the thing is, it worked like this in 2002, but it won't work on the current build of Half-Life 2 beta. Let's see which entities these physics entities affect to. And to see it, we need to check their attachments. And here we can see that this spring was to be attached to some crane mast, and this one, oh, it was attached to a crane mast as well. Let's check where's this crane mast, and to check it, we need when the attachment is selected, we just need to press mark folder, and then as you can see, it shows the entity in 2D views windows in all 3 of them. And to locate it in 3D window, we need to press View, Center 3D View on selection. And here we can see that it's centered this entity in our 3D view. So what I guess is this ball here, for now it's prop static, but it might used to be prop physics, and it was to be, well, it could move like on wind or stuff. It could be forced by gravity gun like a ball, I mean thrown.
Not attachment.
But the thing is, on this map we don't necessarily have to fix these entities, because as you can see, the second attachment, the ball, is not present because it was remade into prop static as a static entity. But for example, if you decide to bring back the original look of the map, there are actually a good amount of maps where you will have to actually fix such entities. What you need to do basically is to move both of the entities from 0 coordinates to the entity they are attached to. So let's cut them and pass them to this crane mast. Let's locate it in 2D window. Here it is, and we need to pass both entities. But let's just figure out how could it work. Well, first of all, you need to check the official dev wiki of Source SDK and to check how these entities work. This spring and this. Oh, they're both these springs. Oh, alright, now I can see how it worked. We need to place both these springs entities in here, in the end of this mast. And we need to place their, how it's called? Scott, can you help me? What's the name of this? Huh?
Is that the origin?
Yeah, origin, right. We need to move origin to the ball. And to do this, we need, oh yeah, one thing you need to learn is you can do a smaller grid in 2D selection window. And by doing so, you're able to move the entity more, how to say,
more precisely.
Yeah. So let's move both entities to the top of the mast. Here it is. And put both entities on both sides of the mast. Alright, we can move them somewhere like here. And now we need to move their origins to the ball, to the center of the ball. Except, where is it? Oh. Wait, where is it? Oh. Here is the center of the ball, and we just need to move both origins to it. You might have questions on how exactly these hinges work. Well, like I said, you can check official Valve dev wiki of Source SDK, and it will tell you everything you need to know.
Is that origin centered on the other views as well?
Let's check. No. Here. Now they're both in the same place, and the thing that should be, if you will make this ball, for example, prop physics override, and we're not doing it as prop physics, by the way, because most likely it doesn't have any physics features on the model, and well, you can check what is physics override as well on the wiki. It should work now. I mean, it should freely move, and well, actually, let's save the map. Now that the map is basically fixed, let's save it. And here's an important thing: when you fix the map in Half-Life 2 Beta, you need to save it exactly into your maps folder, because if you will save it and try to compile from any other folder, it simply won't work for some reason.
And when saving the map, also one of the first mistakes I ever made when I first started making maps was I put spaces in my map name. I could never get it to compile.
Yes, evade spaces.
Not have spaces in your name.
Both in the name of the map and in the name of your Half-Life 2 Beta installation, just in case. Alright, let's save it, and now we can do a fast compile just to check if everything works correctly in game. And to do a fast compile, well, first of all, the default name of a folder is HL2, but if you're doing map for some of your mod, you will need to put the name of the folder of your mod into this line. So over here you can see that my folder with 2002 mod is called HL2_2002. So I will need to put exactly the same name of the folder in here. So we just put HL2_2002 in here, and we choose no for this and no for red. And we choose it because, well, if we will choose normal, for example, for this and normal for red, we will spend quite a lot of time compiling the map. And we just, since for now we just need to check if everything works in order on the map, we just need to fast compile it.
And Viz is for map optimization and making it so certain areas are not seen when, or not drawn when you're not in the air, just maybe map optimization stuff. And rad will be any of our lighting. So if you just are testing a map to see what the lighting will look like, you can do one or the other and that type of stuff.
Well, all right, let's press OK and the compilation should start. Oh, before compilation, I forgot to tell one thing. I will tell you it a bit later. All right, here you can see that parts of the map are visible, and it is because the map is not compiled with this. If it was compiled, if it would be compiled with this wouldn't happen. It's because this is actually cuts the invisible parts of the map, and since this part of the map is supposed to be invisible, it would be cut by this. So let's see. Well, we have all the models appeared. This trash can is on the map, as you can see. Huh. Yeah, this trash can is on the place as well, inside the fence. Huh. It fell down. Well,
is the spring strength not high enough, maybe?
Let's see. Maybe there's something. Yes, spring constraint is 1 million, but oh wait,
Did we add attachment 2? Did we rename the...
no, something is wrong. Wait, I already fixed the map, so I can just check the fixit. Fixit VMF. Oh no, wait, it's not here. Well, too bad. It's just we might will spend a lot of time figuring out what didn't work with this.
Is attachment 2 still red? Is attachment 2 still red?
Yeah, right. We forgot to name the ball. We forgot to give the ball a name. Let's check. It should be called Crane 2 ball. Let's put a name in here, and now if we will check attachment 2, it works. Now it should work. Now there's one thing I forgot to tell you that you must do before the first compilation. You must go to map and press check for problems, and over here it will give you a list of everything that might be wrong with your map, with entities and stuff. And if there would be some missing textures, they would appear in this list in the end. And with it you are able to locate any missing texture. You just need to select the missing texture and press go to error, and it would select a brush with the missing texture. Then you can just press view and center 3D views on selection. Here's another thing that was wrong. As you can see, this model here, it doesn't really look like it is. It looks original. I mean, it's not. It doesn't look original because, as you can see, it collides with another instances of the same model. So what we need to do here is we can just select all the models on the same level, and we can move them. And yeah, you can do the same thing as center 3D views on selection. You can center 2D views on selection as well. Now we can see that it centered us the 2D views, and we just need to move the model down. Let's see if it worked. No, not quite yet. I guess this should work. Let's just move this model as well. All right, now it should be fine. Is it physics props? Yeah, it is prop physics. All right, I guess the map is basically fixed, fully fixed. It's not. It wasn't very. This map wasn't too fun to fix because there aren't too many problems on it. But I guess it was a good example to show on the stream. Still, there are many other problems, and well, I guess we will need to open another map to show them. But meanwhile, let's compile the map and see if the ball works. I like how Benton pronounced ball. Yeah, ball. I got ball of steel on this crane. Alright, it works. Let's check how it works with, for example, gravity gun. Wait. Alright, as you can see, it works, but it doesn't work really how it's supposed to be, because actually I needed to place the origin on this thing on the top of the ball.
On the eye of the ball.
Yeah, let's move it in there. It should be somewhere here. Let's check it. Yep. Now we just need to move the second origin as well. Might be a little bit wrong. Yeah, now it should be alright, I guess. Alright, let's fast compile the map for the last time. And by the way, Scott, will you be able to compile the map while I will proceed fixing another one? If I will send it.
Yeah, send the VMF and all.
Alright, awesome. Sergey Botsman says, place Alex on breaking ball. Alex Cyrus. Alright, now it works almost perfectly. Except, well, do you know why it happens? It's because the ropes ends in the center of the ball and not in the how's this thing called?
The eye of it.
Yeah. Well,
the eye.
To fix it, you can just place the rope in the eye of, I mean, on this thing, and instead of the center of the ball. Well, let's do it actually. It will be a fast fix. Wait, I think it should be here. Yeah, a bit lower. Alright, now this should work perfectly. And yes, when you will fix the map, you will be able to place Alex in here, place whatever you want. And to do it, you will need this hinge, I think. I forgot what exactly. Or this ball socket. Well, you always remember this. You can always check the official Valve wiki, and you can see how to do things there. Or additionally, you can visit our Discord server and ask some guy who can map how to do certain things. Meanwhile, I will send the fixed map to Scott. Here it is. And he will compile the map for us. It's because if I will try and compile the map while I'm broadcasting live, it might the broadcast might crash, and well, things will go wrong in many ways. So, alright, now Scott has the map. He will compile it, and meanwhile we will tell you about some other problems you may stumble upon while fixing maps from WC Mappack. Let's check the folder which is full of troubles more than others, and it is HL2 2001 folder. It is obvious because the older the map is, the more differences were in the engine. So let's open the map, which was one of the most difficult maps to fix, and it is Sniper 029. I remember the first attempt I tried to fix it was in 2010, and all I could do back then is I was just able to make it not crashing at the start. And then in 2016 I finally kind of fixed it, and then I did a proper fix of it thanks to VMF updater back in 2018. So here's the problem I wanted to tell you about. In our tutorial, it is almost the last paragraph, and it is about fixing script entities from gold source era. Well, it's not really from gold source era. It's just it was just leftover from Half-Life 1, since as you can know, the source engine was built from the same branch gold source was built, and it looked pretty much almost, well, it wasn't the same. It looked pretty different already back in 2001, but it still had many features from gold source and many entities with the same name and which worked the same way. And such entities are multi-manager, trigger after, and trigger relay. And the instances of such entities could be found in many 2001 maps, and obviously Sniper 29 is one of such maps. And over here, for example, we can see a trigger after entity, and well, you need to remember that, for example, trigger after was entity which fired at the very start of the map when you load it, just instantly when you load the map. And there's actually entity which does the same in the current builds of the engine, and it's called logic auto. So what we need to do, we need to place logic auto somewhere near trigger auto, and we need to copy all this stuff from this trigger auto, all these outputs, into this logic auto. And what we need to do now, well, while trigger auto worked, the output was named on trigger. The output on logic auto has a different name, so we need to change the name on trigger on map spawn. So what you need to do is just select all these outputs and rename them into on map spawn. And after that, you just need to figure out what exactly was supposed to happen with different set of entities. For example, we see here that on the very beginning of the map, these three scripted sequence entities. And how do I know it's scripted sequence? Is because Valve usually named scripted sequence entities as SS. And if you will press mark, it will mark the entity it affects. So as we can see, on the very start, at the very beginning of the map, these three scripted sequences were supposed to start. Well, it is obvious that they were supposed to start. So we just need to select them all, or select one by one, and on this line we need to choose what was supposed to happen with this entity. And since it is obvious the NPCs were supposed to run on them, we just need to select begin sequence on all three of them. And this is how you fix, basically how you fix such old entities. You just need to predict what was supposed to happen with different bunch of entities. For example, here we can see some turret sound. Well, it is obvious it was supposed to sound on the fired, on trigger fired. Same goes with oh, here you can see tank trained AI target entity, and the thing is, it is what I figured in 2009. This entities is how tanks AI worked in 2001, but in 2003, tank entity, tank AI works different. It doesn't need these additional entities, and you just what you must to do is you just need to hide them or even delete them. They're not needed in the current branch of the engine. And more than that, I don't know about LeakNet patched Half-Life 2 beta, but in the original one they were causing the map to crash at the start. So I usually just get rid of them at the beginning. And here's the whole set of these AI entities. What you need to remember about them is all of them were making the tank entity, the barrel of the tank, to fire at certain entities, such as NPC Bullseye here. So you just need to remember for example, here you can see the name of the entity, that it was to make a tracer turret. I mean, that it was to make a turret to fire a tracer. Oh, wait, no. So, all right, let's start. Let's properly describe it. What you need to do with tank AI entities is you need to mark them and see. Wait a second. Oh, there are two entities by the same name. Let's check. Yes, so this entity was to make this funk tank to fire at this target. And what you need to do is you need to place the output on this entity on the funk tank itself instead of this AI target, and to make it to fire this entity. I hope I hope what I said was just understandable. But anyway, it is pretty difficult level of fixing. So if you're novice, just don't mind all this. You will figure it all out when you will get some experience. But anyway, I guess you got the main idea about the obsolete entity, obsolete script entities. At least I hope you got the idea. All right, let's move to the next set of problems, and it is this will be 95 Navigator special. He always was upset because he couldn't properly separate levels. All right, here, let me open the map and I will properly explain what is going on. Let's open the most insane map, and it is in 2001-2002 folder. Alright, here's the map that drove me mad back in 2008, because I knew nothing about these groups. And the thing is, this VMF has 4 maps in one. There are 4 maps in the same VMF in here. If we will enable all of these groups, we will see that different maps collide with each other, like here, for example. And this was insane for me, since I didn't know how to that I can enable or disable certain groups, these groups. I just selected all the brushes and all the entities from certain maps one by one, and I copied them on the new VMF. And this, I spent 2 months on just separating all these 4 air exchange maps into separate maps from this folder, from this one folder. And now that I know about these groups, this just makes me insane, because everything what I'd done in 2 months can be done in one evening. Literally in one evening. You can separate all 4 maps in just one evening, in just few hours. And here's how you do it. So, all right, let's enable all these groups. All right. Yes, the thing in 2008 was that I didn't speak English too well, and I didn't navigate in Hammer well, because everything here is in English. And I just didn't know about, I didn't know that I can, for example, press here and press the mark button, and it will mark this group. And you actually, for example, all right, let's, here's what we're going to do. We have every single this group enabled, and for example, we need to cut every this group that is not related to AirX03 map. Let's start with AirX03. What we need to do, we need to one by one select all these groups that are not related to air exchange of AirX03. For example, here we selected AirX Keurig this group, and here we can see that it is related to air exchange core. So we can, by the way, Ben, it is core. It is the core.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We just can delete it, and we can delete one by one every these groups that is not related to AirX03. What is temp, for example? Here we can see that temp is related to AirX04. So we can delete it. We are deleting all these groups that are not related until only these groups related to AirX03 will remain on the map. Meanwhile, Ben can answer some questions from the chat.
Sure. So from the bottom, we've got Lucario GT says, any news on the HL2 2002 map pack? And progress is being made on the map pack, but it's kind of slow.
Well, we just fixed one map from it.
Yeah,
and Scott
like
is compiling.
Progress is slow.
The textures that we changed aren't showing up for some reason for you.
Yes, I forgot about it. It's the textures from close texture pack. So actually, you can just compile it. And it
looks correct in my. It looks right in the Hammer editor, but when I get into the actual game, It goes back to the original textures.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
guys.
they will appear in on my end, so don't mind. All right, what were you talking about, Ben?
2002 Mappack.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying the progress is being made on it, but it's slow. No real date on when it's going to come out or anything like that, but it is being worked on. Frankie McSpanky says, "Is there a download link for this map?" Well, I don't know. Is there going to be a download link for this map once it's fixed?
Well, it will be part of 2002 Mappack. So
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
not yet.
We've got.
But as you saw, it's a pretty easy fix. You can spend literally a few minutes fixing it, especially when we will show you how to fix it with VMF Updater a bit later.
Yeah, and I guess the idea of this stream is don't download the maps, fix them yourselves, and then give them to us so we can put them on the site. What have we got? I think that's a little bit it. Yeah, I can't see any more questions at the moment, but if you guys have them, feel free to leave them in the chat.
When are you going to go over the cordon box?
Yeah, a bit later.
Okay.
So here you can see only three. We have only three these groups related to ARXO3 on this VMF, and we deleted the rest of them. So now we can just save the map as ARXO3, and this is it. This is just ARXO3 separated from everything else, from everything that is not related to the map. And obviously it's much easier to fix it this way. Now, same goes, for example, with D1 sewer maps. They were made by the same level designer at Valve, which is Dave Reeler. He made Air Exchange, and then he made sewer, and he used the same techniques for mapping. He just enabled and he was just enabling and disabling these groups. And I heard, I don't really work in the retail hammer, but I heard these groups work a bit different in retail hammer. So you won't be really able to do what we just did in retail. You only can do it in here. So if you want to separate maps from Mappack and actually you are mapping for retail, well, you will need to use beta hammer first to separate
So
them.
I don't know what changed, but I just compiled the map again and it's working for me.
All right, we will not save the map because, well, it is already it was already separated and fixed in 2001-2002 Mappack. So yeah, the next problem which Scott just mentioned is it's not exactly a problem, but I don't remember which map exactly had it.
All right, I sent you the compiled version of Street War.
I think this map had it. Oh, you fixed? You sent it? All right, I'm downloading it. All right, let's talk about cordon thing first, and then we will show you the compiled map. No, sorry, wrong VMF. Maybe this one. Oh, I think it is the same one. I just opened. Yep. Yes. So here, sometimes when you open the map from WC Mappack, you may see that the map is not complete, it's not full, and you can see these red boundaries. So what the red boundaries is it is so-called cordon state, and you just need to press this button with yellow and black stripes, and it will disable the cordon state. It will reveal some more areas. For example, here you can see that 3D skybox is hidden, and when I disable cordon state, you can actually see it, for example. And same goes with many other maps. It's just it is useful when you want to compile the map not fully but some certain areas. I will show you how it works. You just need to press this button and you're able to move the borders. And for example, if you want to compile and check in game only this area here, you need to move the cordon state somewhere here, and it will only reveal this area. And when you compile the map, you will see that the boundaries of this cordon box will use the texture you chose in here in options.
I should really start using that. That would save so much time. Like if I'm just changing one small aspect of the map, and just keep checking that one area instead of wasting 30 minutes compiling the whole
cordon
map.
Texture. Well, why did I tell you to use this texture, the skybox texture? It is because it is very useful. If you choose this tools skybox texture, it will apply skybox texture on this box. And if you, for example, apply some, I think by default the texture is black. So if you will leave the default texture of the black one, the map you will compile, I mean this small section, will have it will look like this, all black, and it's not very cool looking. So usually you will need tools skybox texture, so use it instead of black. All right, I guess we can check the map that compiled to see how it looks in game. All right, as you can see, this works well. It doesn't show you the area you don't mean to see. Well, except for this one, for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure why. But it's still, as you can see, over here in this section, the map is incomplete, so it's not a big deal. Oh, we forgot to move this cache thing a bit upper.
Cache register.
Alright, everything works perfectly, it seems. And even the wrecking ball, I guess. It's there. Yep. Oh, what is this? For some reason, well, it happens when the textures are different from, how to say, it looks like Scott has a different version of the same texture. So when I launched his compilation on my PC, because of the textures are different, it appears as um, purple black checkered texture, like it's missing. But it actually shouldn't be like that if I will, for example, give my textures to Scott and he will compile it. So it's not a really big deal. Well, I think that's about everything we wanted to tell you about fixing the map. The last thing I want to tell you is I want to tell you about.
You also mentioned something earlier about a black problem, something that the black entities or black models.
Right. All right. There's one final thing I want to show you in VMF itself. So if you will open almost any of 2001 maps, when you compile the map, many entities will appear, like I said, they will appear like here, like cremator here, and like this garage door, and like this window will appear all black. And to evade this problem, you need to press map entity report and check all entities like funk door rotating, funk door, funk wall, funk brush, funk track train. Basically, almost all funk entities. I mean, the entities starting with funk, except for funk detail. And here, let me show you. When you open the properties of such entities, like I selected all funk rotating. If you will go to a fixed amount of such entity, sometimes it is not 255 but 0. As you can see, as you may know, in RGB stuff, 255 is for white and 0 is for black. So if it's 0, you need to change it. If it's set to black, you need to change it to white, to 255. And if this FX color is 000, you need to change it to, or to choose the white color in here, or manually change it to 255, 255, 255, and press apply. And that is all. It will fix the problem. Same goes with, not just with funk entities, I mean brush entities, but with some pointed entities as well. For example, this monster combat, which should be actually CS scanner, npc CS scanner. Or C scanner. You can see that their FX color is 000 as well. So what you need to do is you need to check, like I said, almost all entities starting with funk, funk button, funk door, funk detail, and also some point entities like all NPCs, and I don't remember. I think only NPCs. Well, you can always fast compile the map and check it in game. And basically if anything is black, you just need to find it in Hammer and to change their FX color into 255 from black to white. Yeah, there's one problem I forgot to tell about during our Russian-speaking stream. Is I forgot to tell them about fixing origins of doors. This this map is not actually a good example. Let's open, for example,
I know a 2003 map that has that problem.
I know 2002 map, which has a problem. It's D1 terminal. So over here, you may remember this lift here, this elevator. It should go up, but if you will compile the map, you will see that it is going somewhere on the side, like here or here on the plaza or some other side, and this is because when we open it, we can see that their move direction is set to 0 and their angles is set to down, and this is how these entities worked until early 2003, and since then they changed. It seems they added a special parameter called move direction, and their angles should be 0 and their move direction should be down. What was in angles, you should move whatever amount, whatever parameter or angle was set in angles to move direction in here, and this will fix the problem. This elevator will go up and not in this side or another side. And it's not only happens to funk doors, but it mostly happens to funk doors, but it also may happen to funk button and few other entities which I will not remember right now. Alright, this is all I wanted to show you, except for the last thing. And the last thing, well, you remember how much time we spent fixing D4 Street Wars 01 map. We spent quite a lot of time fixing textures, fixing entities, and the thing is, well, it is also described in this tutorial. It is actually the very first paragraph. You need to download this VMF updater tool from our site, and it will help you a lot fixing maps from WC Mappack, and you will actually spend just few seconds, literally few seconds. You just need to choose the map in here, open it, and you need to press the button update, and it will update all these problems described in this tutorial in just few seconds, and that's it. And after that you just need to open the map and to do some final fixes. For example, it doesn't fix some textures because, well, they're not defined in Lua script. And yeah, you can edit the Lua script. You can open it with your notepad, and you can change whatever you want in here. You can add more textures to replace. You can add more models to replace. You can, if you know scripting, you can script some stuff like VXP did already.
And basically what this tool is doing is, if you actually open up a VMF in a text editor, the whole VMF file is just basically text with coordinates and entity names and everything like that. And what it's doing is it's searching through that, checking the obsolete entities, renaming them to the current entities.
Here I opened, for example, RX04 remnants in Notepad, and as you can see, everything is defined on the map as a text.
Yeah, so what it's doing is it's going through the text and just replacing the obsolete, or the models, or not the models, but the textures with the proper textures for the era and all that stuff. So it's really easy to modify this script.
All right, I guess this is everything we wanted to tell you about fixing the maps in WC Mappack. Well, once again, I will repeat that if you don't know something about mapping, you can always come to our forum or our Discord server, or well, the first thing that you should do is actually to check the development Valve Dev Wiki, and you can always search for your problem for solutions in there. Or, like I said, you can go to our forum or our Discord server and you can ask people around there. And I guess, well, we can answer some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Let's check the chat. Yeah, about 2002 Mappack, we already discussed that. Full release of beta storyline would be interesting. Well, the thing is, it certainly would be interesting, but the thing is, there's no such thing as beta storyline. What people call beta storyline is just a bunch of different ideas that Valve had in mind during a set of years, and it's not necessarily they not necessarily coexisted at the same time, and they were just adding stuff, removing stuff constantly during all those 6 years of development. For example, Palace chapter didn't coexist with I don't know, Weather Control chapter. It was already cut when Palace was introduced, and well, there are many instances like this. Do we have a set number of beta prop cars that exists? I don't really understand what is the question here. I wonder what's inside joke maps folder. Well, there may be found many joke maps that Valve made during the course of Half-Life 2 development. For example, I can show you actually what some of the maps that are inside.
Yeah, like some of them will be like a big pachinko machine, or
yeah,
a Rube Goldberg machine,
or a box ring with 2 zombies fighting. Basically, this is the kind of the maps that are inside of joke folder.
Whenever I see that map, I always just picture a couple of Valve employees just betting on which zombie is going to win. Like, you know, who's going to bet lunch or something.
Here's the most... wait, where is it? Oh, it's in 2003. Alright. Well, you can find the video called Iki Pop on our channel. And it gives the best idea what the joke maps is. Quick question, how did you fix the part of D1 sewer that would get stuck on AI graph not generating? The reason why this problem occurred when you go from one level to another and AI not... oh, wait. Alright, it is another problem I wanted to describe. So, the AI graph node generating appears when there's no AIN file created for the map, and if you made the map and you want to share it with other people, when you after you launched it on your PC, don't forget to, for example, it's ARX01. Don't forget to go to this graphs folder in your maps folder and to copy this file ARX01AIN and to put it into your archive with your fixed map. When you copy this AIN file to and share it with other people, they won't generate those AI node graphs when they first launch the map. And there's actually another problem I wanted to describe how to fix it. I will show it to you first. It is related to node graphs.
And another thing also, while he's loading this, another good thing to do is on the later maps that have cube maps, whenever you compile the map, make sure you build cube maps, otherwise things will be too shiny or not rendering properly.
You need to put this in console and press enter, and it will generate all the needed cube maps. Well, this will happen, of course, only if some cube maps exist on the VMF. So here's the problem that might happen to you. When you go to the next level and it loads, this is the map we fixed during our yesterday's stream, by the way. This might appear. As you can see, it has AI disabled, and this appears. We can open console, and here we can see the reason. It says, warning, level contains NPCs but has no path nodes. And to get rid of this problem, you just need to put a node, info node, anywhere on the map. Literally anywhere. Of course, if you want an AI to work properly, you need to put it somewhere where NPCs should walk. And if not, you just can put one single info node anywhere on the map, and this will fix this problem. When we with just one info node, when we go to the next level, this AI disabled thing won't appear, which is certainly a good thing. For the 2002 map pack, between which months are you going for? I am not sure yet. I can show you the amount of maps that are already ready. There are 71 maps which are already fixed and ready. But let's check how many maps it has at all. I mean 2002 folder. It has 353 maps. Of course, I'm not going to fix every single one of them, but well, I guess it will be somewhat 150 maps. So you can see the amount of. Well, it can give you an idea about how many maps I will need to fix more. And these maps are not easy fixes as well, some of them. Like D1 Garage 101 or D4 Palace 01, they're pretty hard to fix. Well, actually D4 Palace 01 is already fixed. So he's asking if there's a list somewhere of all beta cars from different maps. You mean models or brush cars? Because, well, actually you can go to overwiki, go to combineoverwiki.com. Oh, what did I type wrong? I don't see what I. All right, we can do it another way. Oh, it's .net. This is what was wrong. And over here you can type transportation in the search. And here you can you need to choose maybe cut transportation. Oh, road transport here. So find road transport article on Combine Over Wiki, and it has all the vehicles that are used on Half-Life 2 beta maps. Here you can see all images of every single vehicle that can be found in WC Mappack. Both brush made or models, everything can be found here. And even episodes and even Half-Life, and including retail. You should fix another 2002 map for the stream. Dude, I'm so tired to talk and to wear headphones that no thank you.
Yeah.
So you will fix half of the maps from 2002. Well, kinda, yeah. I'm not sure the exact amount, but it will be about half, I guess. And why is it half and not more? Is because if you, for example, go in any storyline related map, you can see that, for example, D1 terminal has few different revisions, and of course it's not necessary to fix every single one of them. I just usually I fix the first one and the last one, and I skip the rest.
Yeah, unless there are any radical changes within the maps, there's not many reason to do all revisions.
Maybe no commentary. Well, maybe, but it only will happen when I will start, when I will proceed with fixing 2002 Mappack. And I'm not sure when it will happen yet.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I guess this is all for today. We talked pretty much about everything we wanted to talk. And thank you for watching us. And we hope that this stream was helpful for you, and we hope that more people will start fixing the map, because, well, I said it during our yesterday stream. If you know, we have a VK group, and it has more than 3,000 people in a VK group. So just imagine, there are 3,000 people in our VK group single. I mean, in our VK group only, plus about 1,000 people in our Discord server. So it's 4,000 people, and there are only 1,300 maps in WC Mappack. So imagine every person fixes just one map, and we would have everything fixed already.
Yeah.
The more people fix the Mappack, how to say, the more complete the list of fixed map is. It's obvious. And what you can fix, actually, you can go to 2001, for example, or 2001-2002 map packs, and you can choose. Here, I can show you.
And that same logic also applies with textures and missing models too.
Here, you can see, you can find this file, this document inside every map pack folder. And if you open it, everything that is teal is already fixed and is already in the map pack. And you can take any map that is not teal any map from this list, and you can fix it, and you can make an addition for any of the released map packs. I started this list specifically for anyone who wants to make additions to my map pack, and if of course you are able to share your fixes on our forum or on our Discord server, and if this fix good, I will actually add it to later versions of this map pack.
Yeah, I was gonna point that out. If you guys want to add fixes to the site, DM me on Discord, and I will take a look at it, make sure it's all legit, and if it's good, I will upload it to the site and credit you completely and stuff like that. It would be nice if we could get some more user submissions instead of just the same people uploading them. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention is that there is a link in our description where you can donate us if you want, of course, and this will actually help us maintain our website. And well, since many people complained about the speed of downloads from our site, if enough people will donate us the money, we can buy a better hosting, and we can buy a better speed for our website. So if you like our work and if you like what we're doing, you're free to donate us. Of course, you're free to not donate us. We will still do what we do.
Of course, the most important part is the more money that you guys donate, the more vodka Vitoy can buy, and the more Stella I can buy, and the more Bud Light Scott can buy.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah. I thought I would insult you like that.
Yeah, I like expensive vodka. It's better than non-expensive. So please donate to expensive vodka.
Fucking shitty American beer. You're a jackass.
The watered down Budweiser. Yeah,
Well, right.
Funny story. I turned up at a New Year's party and all they had was Bud Light, and I went home.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again for.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much.
Great stream. You guys are great.
By the way, we will see you tomorrow. We're going to stream a mod called Library of Leaked Maps, and we will actually be streaming it with its author, with George Z. So if you're interested, come by tomorrow and see you tomorrow at our stream.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by, guys.
All right. See you guys later.